Hey everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here again. Today, got a great one for you with a bit of classic hair metal from Tom Kiefer's Cinderella and Somebody Save Me from the band's 1986 debut album, Night Songs, the third single release from that fantastic first album from the boys of Cinderella. That said, I hate lumping these guys under that 80s hair metal umbrella, as musically they had much more in common with, say, Aerosmith than most of the other hair metal bands of the day. However, there's little denying that they most definitely milked that whole hair metal aesthetic in their overall visual style. Regardless, great band, one of the better 80s hard rock bands. Let's close in, learn how to play this great track of theirs, shall we? All right then, Jeff LeBar, Tom Kiefer, Cinderella, and Somebody Save Me. We are in standard tuning for this tutorial. This one has a great opening riff. It's also the riff during the verses and the chorus, so once you get this riff down, you got 90% of the track minus the solo, and it goes a little something like this. And you're going to repeat that 8 times at the beginning of this track. So we're starting with an A power chord here on the upstroke, basically catching this little double stop on the 2s, right? Bouncing off the open A string twice. And you're going to repeat that 2.5 times. And then you're going to finish on that double stop. All of these little double stops and chords that we're playing on the D and the G string are all going to be caught on the upstroke. All of the palm muted open A strings are going to be caught on the downstroke. Right? So after that initial A, we're going to drop into F, play the exact same thing. 3 and 5 of the D and the G. Bouncing off that open A string, right? Then we're going to move into D, a double stop here on the 7s of the D and the G, do the exact same thing. Bouncing off that open A. And to finish the riff, we have this tricky little lick before going back to A and repeating the riff. So this is tricky because we're shifting fingers here. So we're starting with a double stop on the 5s of the D and the G that we're going to slide back to 4. And when we slide it back to 4, we're going to catch the open A. Kind of like that, right? Then we're going to shift fingers to our ring finger, drop it on the 7s, slide it back to the 5s, and hit that open A again. Every time you do a slide, you're going to catch the open A. And then you're going to go back to your index and do another slide from 5 back to 4 before dropping back to A and starting the riff again. Kind of like that, right? And so putting it all together, that is the riff. So you're going to repeat that 8 times at the beginning of this track, 4 times before the vocals come in. After the first 2 repeats at the beginning of the track, another guitar joins, Jeff at this point I believe, with these unison bends. And you're going to repeat that twice, almost. So we're starting here on the 7 of the G, 5 of the B, unison bend that G string, right? Move it up 3 spots, back it up 2 spots, move it up 4 spots to 12 and 10, back it up to 10 and 8, move it up to 14 and 12, and then back it up to 12 and 10, and repeat. However, before dropping into the first verse, we're going to stop right there the second time. We're not going to go up to the 14, 12. We're going to drop into this lick. And then back into the main riff. So this little lick here, 7 of the G, little bend release off to 5. If you catch pinch harmonics, great. Off to 5, and then 7 off to 5 of the D. And then 7, 6, 5, 3 of the A, off to A power chord to start the riff again. Right, so that's the unison bends. Stop there. And then then we drop into the first verse. So you're going to repeat the main riff 4 times during the first verse. The final time, we're not going to do these little slidey bits. We're going to do the same melody, but now on the A string, leading into the pre-chorus. Right there, sliding into 3 of the A, off to 2, off to open. Sliding into 5 of the A, off to 3, off to open. And then 3, 2. And then we're going to drop into D. Basically a D power chord here without the high E string, right? So a D5 chord. And you're going to let that ring for 1 bar before dropping into A for 1 bar. D, A, then into F. And play that same little F lick that we're playing during the main riff, right? Bouncing off this F power chord here on the 3 and 5, bouncing off the open A. And then dropping a full G chord that you're going to let ring for 2 bars before dropping into the chorus, which is the main riff again, right? So that's the pre-chorus. D, A, F, 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 G. Chorus. Repeat it twice. During the chorus, we're going to finish it on the A string. With that again, right, instead of the slides. Into the second verse, which is just the main riff again. And second verse, second pre-chorus, second chorus are all the same as the first chorus, pre-chorus. And then we drop into the bridge. So leading into the bridge, we're going to play this little lick again with a little variation. We're going to go 3, 2, open. And then we're going to go into that 5, but we're going to hang on that 5 and just go off to 3. Kind of like that. And then we drop into the bridge, which is going to be a B major bar chord with the sus here on the 5 of the B. Into that, right, which you're going to repeat 4 times. B major bar chord with the sus, going to hit that twice, off to the bar and back on again. Then you're going to move it into a D power chord here, hit it 3 times quickly, and then chug it. Right, and you're going to repeat that 4 times. After the first 2 repeats, the solo begins. And let's run through this solo before digging into how to play it. Solo right there. So the solo starts in B over the bridge riff, right? With this. Just a basic blues lick here, bending that 9, grabbing the 7 of the B onto the 10 3 times. Third time you drop onto that 10, you're going to go into 3 full step bends, right? Then you're going to repeat it, but you're going to stop right there. So you're only going to repeat it twice, the second time. And then you're going to stop right on that 7 of the B. And then the whole band shifts back off into A with the main riff, and then we're going to shift off into A with a full step bend on the 15 of the high E. 3 full step bends. Now we're in A. This solo is a bit of a mix of major and minor. We're starting in minor, but we're going to play a little lick right in the middle of the solo in A major. But it starts in minor with a 3 full step bends of that 15 into this. So between these triple bends on that 15, we're going to play this little lick. Just pulling off 15 off to 12, grabbing the 15 of the B 4 times. Right back into 3 more full step bends on that 15, right? And then we're into this chromatic run. Right there, 15, 14, 13, 12 of the high E. Same thing on the B string. and then 15, 14 of the G, slide out of it. Right, and now we're going to shift off into A major with this lick. And then back into minor again. So we're sliding into 16 of the D. We're going to go down to 14 of the G, onto 16 of the G, and roll it back up to the 16 of the D. And then back to 14 of the G. Right into a full step bend on the 17 of the B. Into this lick. More chromatics back to the natural note on 17. We're going to go 17, 16, 15. 13, 12, 13 of the B. And then we finish the solo with this. Right there, sliding into 14 of the G, 12, 13, 15 of the B twice. And then the same thing on the high E, 12, 13, 15. And then 12, 15. Into 2 full step bends on that 15, and that is the end of the solo. So then, let's take that solo from the top, and then we'll be done. And there you go, my friends. That is how you play Somebody Save Me by Cinderella. Certainly hope you enjoyed that, found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button right down there. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you. And we will see you next time. Cheers.